Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am a romance author, Lottie Lumley, and I'm so excited to be sharing that I am starting a new book series. So this one is going to be more on the paranormal side than my Icarus Bluff, which was a Greek mythology, so more fantasy. So I'm excited to do more paranormal because I love vampires, werewolves, shifters, all of that. So looking forward to writing. I am in the brainstorming phase and I am really itching to get writing. And what I've always done in the past for my cozy mysteries, I have a pen name for that, and I would always write out everything that I could think of, and then I would start writing. And I think what I'm going to do is outline slash plot out the major beats and then not do more of the detailed chapter by chapter until I'm actually going to be writing a particular scene or scenes. And I think that might help with the motivation because I always feel like I get stuck because I've already experienced the whole entire story already. And I think that kind of goes to what Stephen King has mentioned, why he is not like an outline or anything, because he wants to like discover the story as it comes to him, and the excitement will diminish because you've already gone through the story. And I think that is what has happened to all of my other works, is because I've done more on the upfront, and then I struggle with then writing description and all that because I've already experienced it. So why do I need to write it? So we're trying something new and I'm excited to take you along the journey. I am sitting in my office, which is a disaster. We're redoing the bathroom that's attached to this room, so I have like vanity flooring all in this room, but I still have my bookcase behind me up because it's bolted to the wall and I have nowhere to put it. And because the guest room has all the other stuff that normally goes into this room, such as my extra desk. I have one desk still up, and I'm actually kind of digging this background. Is I'm sitting on the floor, and I always thought that was weird that people would like vlog or do their stuff on the floor, but actually it's pretty good because you have the overhead lights, right? And then you have a nice background and you kind of be more comfy and make it more casual. So, not that anyone really cared about that, but I'm digging the background. It's really cute. And okay, so brainstorming. I'm talking about brainstorming, my new shifter series. So it's going to be a 6-book series. And what I've kind of already done is start looking at the market. So that is, I would say, the first step is look at the market. What is trending? What is like pulls you in for book covers and titles? Right now, bear shifters are pretty hot. So instead of going to the traditional werewolf, I'm going to start with a bear series. And mountain men are very in, and so all of my males will be bear shifters, and they will all be mountain men. With that, I'm wanting to tie them all in, not just to the town, but also to the work that they do. So I'm going to be having them be all part of a sawmill. So they're going to be like that lumberjack, woodsy, husky man. And I feel like that like fits with the bear. And they're going to be in a small town in Alaska. because with Alaska, you could have snowed in scenes, right? If I'm wanting to do a forced proximity, which I love. If you haven't seen my book or my video on tropes, that I'll have it linked down below, but that is one of my top favorites. So forced proximity, Alaska totally fits. And then trying to think of what else have I figured out. I feel like those are the main things. So with that, I'm working on the premise, and it's going to be a 6-book series, each one following a bear shifter, and then the female obviously is going to be the full human. And I am changing things up. I've always done more of a plotting planner. I have lots of videos on my other channel all about setups and stuff, which actually I got 2 of them right here. So this was all for my seasonal suite cozy mystery under the pen name Courtney Flagg. So if you're into cozy mysteries, you could go check out that YouTube channel as well as the books. And it is a Rhodia, just A5 notebook, so all of that. And then for my Icarus Bluffs series, I did a spiral bound because I like being able to turn them like around. And so I have done that that's a 5-book series, but I also have half of it essentially blank. And I am still doing revisions on the rest of the series. I released book 1, or it's on pre-order right now, on February 7th, and it's going to be released on February 27th, 2025. So depending on when you're seeing this video, go check it out. It is available for pre-order, or it's available to read. And I need to go in and do all the revisions for the rest of those. I have them drafted, but so I have that. And I was like, cool, I could put all that in like the next series, my shifter series in there. But then I was like, ooh, but like the worlds are different, and I didn't want to I wanted to keep them separate. And I'm also thinking of doing a spin-off of a academy series. And so I was like, perfect, that would fit in that one. 'Cause with that, I don't want to spoil it, but I'm thinking of an academy series that is based in Icarus Bluff, so it will be a Greek mythology story as well. So putting a hold on that notebook. So I went through my stash. I have a ton of notebooks, planners. I love all the stationery goodies. And I'm deciding to create a new one for this. So this is the cover of what I have on my planner right now, and it's mixed of A5 and A5 wide, so that's why there is the gap here. I need to create a planner cover, but that is not that important right now, so I'm using this one here. And so I have some plotting sheets, and then I have started going through my premise, going through the theme of the story, going through the characters, which character development is by far the hardest for me. So I'm currently reading the K.M. Weiland's The Creating Character arc. I'll leave the link down below. And this one I'm going to have to read and then figure out what needs to happen per each one. So I'm reading it through once, and then it'll have to come back. But this recommendation came from Sarah Cannon, and it's already, I think, up-leveling what I want these characters. So it's the Complete Writer's Guide to Heroes and Heroines, 16 Master Archetypes. So this is an older book, but let me tell you, it is full of goodness. And basically, like, right, you could pick how your heroine gonna be the spunky kid. So a spunky kid has moxie, so she's quick with a wide grin and good word. She knows that and likes everyone, like, and then it goes through the flaws, backgrounds, styles, and even has some examples of in either stories or movies, which are all on the older side since I think this was made like in the early 2000s. Yeah, copyright 2000. So it is, what is it, 2025? So this is 25 years old, but the information doesn't ever go out, right? Like archetypes are constant. They're never changing, I guess. So I have that. So I'm going to try to up my character game. And then I got my Aura Estelle A5 planner. And this is all my resources that I have for romance. And so I got different beat sheets, plotting methods, all this stuff. So when I'm working, I got it on hard copy, but I've also uploaded all the information to my Scrivener file, and they're digitally as well. So that's kind of like all the upfront stuff. So I'm going to take you to my Scrivener where I am brainstorming my new paranormal shifter romance. Hey guys, so we are hopping on my computer and showing my Scrivener and what I have going on. So I have it set up as manuscript reference, which are all those documents that I mentioned that I had in physical form in my binder. So I have all that. I have the planning stage, the outlining, and then a bunch of kind of other things. So I'm in the planning stage. So how I kind of do this is I figure out the genre, which we know we're doing a shifter paranormal romance, and that also kind of plays a factor into, I have somewhere here, book market ideas. So this is kind of what I was talking about. So we have bear, shifter, mountain men, same town, some different keywords that I think. And then I even started thinking about what I could do to, I guess, do spin-offs. So I'm like, okay, well, where if the werewolves come into town? What if there's angels and demons in a town? And then just an idea of a storyline here. So just to kind of get some ideas going, right? I have it on other series ideas and then market research specific to this series. But moving back to the planning stage, so I have genres, then I move on to the premise, dive into not very detailed, but the basics of characters, basics of plot, theme, as well. So going over genre, I have this from Grant Ferguson. He has the trellis method, and so I have his worksheets. So I plugged that in and started, right, going through each of the different questions, right? I have some key scenes and all of that. Moving on to premise, I have kind of same things, right? Small town, shifters, some titles, brainstorming, and then I go into each book and giving the premise of it, whatever sparked my initial idea, and then just kind of breaking down a little bit more of what the story's about, right? That's kind of the whole thing. And this really got me going, and I'm like, ooh, okay, now I want like this scene to happen or this scene to happen. So I got really excited about that. And that's kind of most of the pre-work that I've done. I have dabbled a little bit into my characters. So I got my two main characters working on their information. Then this is where I'm kind of stuck. What the plot influence from their character, any other character issues like their flaw, their need, their lie, their ghost, as people say. So I need to work on that. And then I also have started the plot, like for the premise, what the setting, some of the stakes. I know I'm going fast, but I don't want anything to be spoiled, so that's why. And then I haven't really done much on the theme. It's really like, right, love conquers all. It is a romance. But there is also, I think, a deeper theme is like having a support system that it's not afraid to, like, don't be afraid to ask for help, is also what I'm thinking of adding. And now is kind of the fun part is breaking down into what each story is about. So I have it kind of broken into different sections. So we got our plot, which includes action, character arc, my paranormal aspect, as well as the love. So I have kind of the basics of my action plot. I got my characters, which I need to do, a little bit of the paranormal, and then a little bit about the love. So what I like is switching over, there. Don't want any spoilers, but breaking this into each section. And what's really cool is I could use the note cards here to just write the synopsis of each beginning, the inciting incident, the plot. And this is already related to the external plot, right? Not looking at anything that is related to their romance or anything. Is like, what is the story goal, right? So you have the main character. She visits this small town to help a family member. That is like the beginning, right? What is the middle? Haven't quite figured out, right? That's the hard part, the midpoint. And then the end is that she, has fixed her relative. He's healthy again. And that's like essentially the story, right? Then I will do the same thing on the romance. Okay, so we got essentially the meet cute, not thinking of any of the shifter supernatural element, just thinking of straight of the love story. So if they're both just human, this is what it would be, right? You got the meet cute, then you got their, yes, I like them, I don't like them, how's this gonna work, all that like angst. And then the end is, yes, you are my fated mate and I love you and let's live happily ever after. Then the paranormal aspect is adding in those little nuances of, ooh, he has incredible strength. That seems a little odd for just a straight human. There's something about him that's intriguing, right? And then from his perspective, it would be like, ooh, she has this aroma that I'm just drawn to. Is she my one true mate? And then, right, then you have the whole claiming thing, and then happily ever after, right? And so then you have the character is that they're going to go through some turmoil emotionally, and they're going to have to go through that. So I got essentially 4 different plot threads. And what I really like about Scrivener is that you can color code things and have them for this, and you could move them around as well. So this will be really helpful when I get to the weaving section and when I do chapter by chapter from my original like plot outline. So I could be like, ooh, I want this chapter over here. This one is from his character arc. On that scene, we learn some more. This is more on the action side. We learned that. So this is going to be a great tool for that. So I have a lot of work to do to get this story ready to start drafting, but I think I am at a really good spot that I could actually start the words, and I think I'm going to do it by, I guess, act by act. So I have, I think, all the information I need to start writing Act 1. So that, I think, is going to be the plan, because I'm feeling really excited and I want to keep that excitement going. Thus, I'm going to jump on it and start the drafting. So excited about that. I hope you liked that walkthrough of my Scrivener and how I'm doing all my brainstorming to prepare for the first draft of my story. So with what I have right now, I think I am good to start drafting. And this book, I'm doing something different. I am taking my plotting notebook here, and I am going to be drafting this first draft by hand. And I know it's gonna be wild, but what's gonna help me is that there are these company called Rocketbook, and they make these notebooks that are a very unique texture, and you are able to wipe them with water by using Pilot friction pens. But what's really cool is they have paper printables that you just go online and you could just print off a copy of. They have dot grid, they have lined, and they have regular graph grid. Because I don't really like the feel of the paper. I have one that's in just the standard letter size, and I don't really, it's too big of a notebook, right? So that's why I printed off, and I did a A5 wide, which is roughly a 7x9. It's 7x8.6. And I'm going to be drafting by hand. And what's really cool is they have these little QR codes. And so what you do is on their app, you scan it and then you upload it to either Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive, all those cloud-based applications. And what's really cool is it will like screenshot it, what you have written. But here's the kicker. It could also take what you have handwritten and put it into text. So you have to have very neat handwriting for it to work, but that will save me time from handwriting versus typing out exactly what I wrote. Another thing I was thinking is I could always just do dictation, so I could just read what I have written. So that is an alternative as well. So excited to start this series, and I hope you are excited about watching my journey on writing a shifter paranormal romance. I'll have some links down below, as well as my new book that is coming out if you're interested in Greek mythology romance. It is a short read. It's under 2 hours, so it's perfect for lunchtime or when you just need a quick escape into another world. So have a good one, and until my next video, bye!